and a friend.
Oh, we're friends already? Wow, easy. Hello, Aromas. This is Aromie here. Welcome back to In Blood, the demo. We are here with Iris, or I hope it's Iris. I don't know. Uh-oh. I don't think so. Fulfilled how? Where is this god? I want to speak to it. Iris shook their head.
Humans.
They opened the door and stepped out, and for a moment I thought they were just going to leave me with all these questions, but then they motioned for me to follow. We entered a narrow, long hallway. At one end there was a door, and at the other the hallway opened opened out into a larger room. That was where we seemed to be headed. Oh, what the fuck? There's a cute pink. I mean, I don't like spiders, but it does look cute and pink. We entered a large room. It looked like a dining room, maybe. Along one wall, there was a doorway that was full of rubble. On another wall, there was a large fireplace where a table and chairs were set up. The walls were cracked stone, similar to the hall and the bedroom. There's a lot of spiders around here. There were some cooking instruments by the fireplace and more closed doors, no windows.
Stay here. I will summon your Balta.
Okay. They started to leave through a small closed door, but before they vanished, I called out to them. I do think it's a really nice costume, you know? Real fancy. They huffed and shut the door without replying. I shrugged and looked around the room. It was cluttered with stone debris, damp but clean. It was still kind of cold, and I was glad I had my jacket. If this place had heat, it didn't work. I moved to sit at the table when I froze. There was a very large spider crawling across its surface. Put it outside? I would not be bold enough to touch it. I'm not going to kill it either. Because I'm too much of a wimp. Because that looks huge. I'm going to leave it alone. If I left it alone, it would probably leave me alone. I paced around the room and looked for clues about the god and all this nonsense. Maybe it was just an eccentric rich person.
Hello, human.
You're quite beautiful. Is that your pet? This spider? Because you guys look alike. I turned at the voice and froze. A girl, maybe slightly shorter than me, oh, I'm taller for once, stood there. I hadn't heard her come in or get as close to me as she had. She was all dolled up like a Lolita in an anime. How strange. Hello?
Don't mind my darling little friend. She likes to meet new people.
Oh, it is your pet. Hi. I guess. She set her hand on the table and the spider happily crawled up her arm, then vanished into her hair. I swallowed uneasily. People could be really weird about their pets. Is that it, or is this just a hair clip? Might be a hair clip. Okay.
So you're the new worshipper? I'm SETA.
Hi, SETA. What?
Hasn't Eris explained everything
Eris.
to you? Really?
Okay, it's not Iris, it's Eris. They said I made a deal with some old god, but come on, none of this is real.
Oh, it is real. The sooner you accept that, the better. It'll increase your chances of survival.
Survive?
The Mere is a dangerous place for humans.
Why the fuck am I here?
You're
smiled at
awfully
me.
cute. Don't worry. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, thank you. I blinked, caught off guard. Cute. Dangerous. Mere? I really wanted to go home now. What are you talking about? Iris? Is Iris? I forgot how to pronounce it already. Said I couldn't leave.
You haven't looked outside yet, have
Eris,
you?
I think. Sorry.
Oh, you poor thing. You can try to leave, but you won't get far.
No, that can't be right. I glanced at all of the closed doors.
That one.
She pointed at one of the doors. I was starting to feel a bit dizzy. It felt like that room was starting to tilt. Maybe if I looked outside, I would know where it was. Even better, I could just leave and go home. These people were beyond weird, like they were part of some extreme costume party or something. As I walked toward the door, SETA called out to me.
Please be careful. We haven't had a new guest in such a long time.
I'm wondering how all these people, like, were they originally humans and then they formed like these creatures, you know? I ignored her and kept going. I pushed open the large, heavy door and stepped out onto a set of stone steps. The slippery steps caught me by surprise, and I stumbled down them, struggling not to fall. Finally, on firm ground, I looked around, and it was almost as if my lungs had deflated. I couldn't breathe. The air was heavy and wet. The sky was a dirty green with no sun, moon, or stars in sight. The ground was hard, and the stone of the steps had been damp. Behind me loomed a stone structure that looked capable of collapsing at any moment. I took a few steps away and tried to piece together what I was seeing. This wasn't home. I was nowhere near home. I wasn't even in the same country? Planet? This couldn't be right. I couldn't stay here. No! Is this the underworld? Because they pulled me under the ground? There were no buildings, no roads, and nothing in the sky. The further I looked, the less I could clearly make out. It was as if everything ended in a blur. Low buzzing and scratching were the only sounds I could hear. They were not like the hum of cicadas or chirps of birds I knew. It was as if the ground I stood on was contorting somewhere deep and groaning at the effort. There was a faint stench of rot and sulfur, and it seemed to come from everywhere, as if it was just the smell of the place. I didn't know what else to do, so I started walking. Oh, look at the cute little mushrooms. The ground began to give slightly as I stepped, so I slowed down. Each step squelched, and it only got worse. I tried to navigate the too-tired ground, but I couldn't without turning around. If only I had worn better shoes. I passed a few more trees and then came to water, a dirty brown water that was eerily still. I looked to each side, but the swamp stretched on and on as far as I could see. I glanced back at the water and felt the inevitable begin to settle over me. I need to get into that. Ew, wait, what? You're gonna walk in the swamp water? A twig snapped on my side and I jumped, ready to fight if I needed to. Oh, am I hallucinating? I don't like horses, but that's a real pretty one. A large, beautiful, pure white horse stood there, as if it hadn't snuck up on me. The absurdity of it made me laugh. What are you doing out here? It was such a beautiful animal. Yo, I had to remember this is a horror game. But I hadn't seen any trace of horses or stables back at the mansion. Could there be another house out here? Was it wild? It's okay. I took a slow step towards it. Oh, it's gonna eat me alive. Afraid I would scare it, but it stood confidently. It shook its head gently, almost as if it was showing off its silky mane. I've never seen a horse so close before and had no idea how to ride it. But there was a saddle and it could take me away. Maybe to another house, maybe through the swamp, just away. What a good horse. I reached out, wanting to feel Did horses have fur? It stood contently as if waiting, and I could trust it. I knew I could. It'd take me somewhere safe. Those big soft eyes were telling me to climb on, to feel its skin, and then it's gonna devour me. My fingers almost grazed the horse when I was suddenly pulled back off to my feet and flung backwards. Well? Hi! You look cool. I didn't mention it in the very beginning, like last episode, but this little necklace thing he has reminds me of like something from Avatar. Fuck! I had crashed into a tree trunk. I managed to sit up enough to see a large man in all black stand between me and the horse. His back was turned to me, and he was speaking to the animal.
Go back to the swamp, Nuckin.
Hey! I scrambled to my feet, watching the horse start to back away. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Saving your life, new blood.
So it is gonna devour me, that horse. That's why I don't like him. The horse whinnied? What? And it scampered back into the dense forest, gone. Excuse me?
You're the new worshiper that I heard about, aren't you? Humans don't just stumble on this place, so it has to be you. Eliodora, right?
Just Ellie. How did you find out about me so fast? Who are you exactly? I dusted myself off, careful not to take my eyes off of him. I really didn't like to be called a worshipper. But there's... I mean, you did a blood pact. You're a worshiper now. But there was no reason to correct him right now.
All right, Ellie. Call me Tristan.
Hi, Tristan.
And a friend.
Oh, we're friends already? Wow, easy. A friend?
I want to leave this place as badly as you do. Why don't we help each other?
Are you human? I studied him, unsure of his real motive. Iris? It's not Iris, I know that. Iris said I couldn't leave. Are you trapped here like I am? Tristan spread his arms out, looking at me as if I was stupid.
I am. You can trust me. I'm human like you.
It could be like a hidden shapeshifter. I don't know. As he spoke, his eyes glowed. For a moment, I considered the others. SETA, Iris, they all had been in costume, hadn't they? Of everyone I had met, he had to look the most human. But the horse, the house, it couldn't be real, could it? He wasn't human. His eyes are glowing, first of all. I don't know any humans that has glowing eyes. None of them were. The realization hit me like a sudden burst of cold water, but I tried my best not to show it on my face. It wouldn't work for me. My face is easily readable. Right now, I just had to figure out what TRISTIN was trying to say. He was either lying to me or something else is going on. Okay, I have time. Sure. Okay, I'll think about it.
While you're thinking about it, try not to get yourself killed.
Well, I can't do two things at the same. I'm kidding. Excuse me?
That white horse? That was a nuckin, not a horse.
What's a nuckin? So...
If you had touched it, it would have dragged you into the swamp, drowned you, and eaten you.
Well, I was right about the devouring part. Of course it would have.
It must have been weak. Its glamour on you wasn't very strong. I thought I'd have to restrain you.
Its glamour on me wasn't strong? That was its weakest? What is its most powerful glamour then? Good, I guess. So, escape. Which way? He shook his head, looking back over his shoulder.
It's not that easy. This swamp goes on forever and surrounds the mansion. And don't even think about getting into the water. You wouldn't last a minute. Nuckin isn't the only creature out here.
Okay, so what now? He shrugged his shoulders.
I don't know yet. There has to be a way, and I'm going to find it. 2 people looking is better than 1.
My girl's not asking the correct questions. She should be asking how long has he been trapped here. Now I shrugged. If what he said was true, then I had no way of walking out of this place, so I'd have to go back. I guess I should go back to the mansion then.
Yeah, that'll be safer. I'll show you the way.
Why would I say no thanks? Okay. Plus TRISTIN. Thanks. I could have made it on my own, but being alone in these woods wasn't exactly ideal. He turned and started walking without another word. I joined him and tried to match his quick, quiet pace. When I glanced over at him, he looked like he was deep in thought. I didn't know anything about him, but he didn't give off a dangerous vibe quite like the others. This was different. He was just confusing. So, what's your deal?
What, my deal?
How'd you end up trapped here? You make a deal like I did? He opened his mouth, but instead of speaking, he only took a breath.
Well...
If you want me to trust you, you probably shouldn't lie to me. He smirked at me and shook his head.
Fine. I don't remember.
Wait, what? How long have you been here? Bullshit.
No, really. I've been here too long. This place messes with your mind.
Do you know how long you've been here then? You really can't remember.
No. Can you?
I knew I had made a deal. I stopped walking for a second. I made a deal with Nearbalter, whatever. Nia. I feel bad because they kept helping me pronounce it. I forgot. There's something important. My brother. What's happening? I can remember, but it's like it happened several months ago instead of.
I told you. This place messes with your mind. If you really want to remember, you should write it down.
What? How? I guess I should. He sighed. We're outside of the mansion now, and he glanced over at some crack-stained glass.
I'll find you if I learn anything. Could you do the same?
Wait, where are you going? I will. I wasn't sure how I would find him, but this place wasn't that big. He left. I thought about stopping him to ask for more information, but decided against it. I didn't want to waste time chatting while my memory was fading. I walked inside feeling more lost than I had when I stepped outside. If TRISTIN was right, then there was no way of getting home on foot, but I seemed to think there was another way out. If I had been brought here, then there had to be some kind of door. I just needed to find it.
There you are. I've been looking for you.
Hey man, chill. I was exploring. Oh wait, you did tell me to stay in... Oh my bad. What is this place?
I told you.
No, what is this place? My memories are all fuzzy. We're surrounded by swamps, and a crazy horse monster tried to eat me.
Mir, as I told you before... Wait, Knockin'? How did you resist the glamour?
I didn't really resist it as much as I was saved by Tristan. Should I tell him? I don't know. Should I tell him? Claim I have magical powers, man. I don't know if that's good. You know what? It's the end of the episode, so I feel like I should just tell the truth, you know? What's the point in lying to any of these people? I'm stuck here. Anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.